Hey, all, Michael Lunsford here. Look, I've been getting a lot of messages from folks asking what I think about this coronavirus stuff, and maybe is it as bad as the flu? How does it compare? And look, this is kind of outside my usual, but I figured, hey, it'd be a good diversion from looking into how our government is spending our money, whether wisely or foolishly. And I can tell you, that we've got some stuff coming out soon that's going to show you how foolish they are being with your with your tax dollars. But for now, let's set it aside. Let's get into this diversion, which is the coronavirus, and see if your original thoughts that this might be overblown, do they have any merit? And I know a lot of our gut instincts are right a lot of the time, so be ready for that too. So here is from the governor of the state of Louisiana, his latest numbers. Keep in mind, this is from last week, so these have been updated. The latest, as of this morning's 9:30 update, was 1,172 folks have been diagnosed in Louisiana with coronavirus. So if we do the math, divide that by 4.6 million, we get 0.025%. That is 2% of 1% of the state residents. So that's not a huge number. So in order to compare this with the flu, though, I'm going to have to zoom out, and we're going to have to use national numbers. Now I get John Bell has said that the coronavirus is worse here than it is anywhere else, and that could be. So we'll just assume nationwide the bulk of the bad stuff is happening in Louisiana. What else is new, right? So here are the numbers I got from the cdc.gov website. This is coronavirus, and it's right there on the top of the page. You can't miss it. So far, and I just printed this today, so 33,404 diagnoses, 400 of those have died. Now keep in mind that I want to say I saw a report somewhere that said 96% of folks who have died that had coronavirus had something else too. So coronavirus didn't necessarily kill them all by itself. Their underlying medical condition combined with coronavirus was the problem. So keep in mind that it's not as bad as, 400 people had coronavirus that died from it. Okay, you with me? That number, if you divide 400 by the 33,404, you get 1.19%, which is 1% of those diagnosed died that had coronavirus. Now, while I'm on this page, I wanted to show you this very interesting graph that's also on the CDC website. This is daily diagnoses, and you can see in January, it started January 12th, and they just get little blips here and there, and all of a sudden it started going up. Well, look what happened March 11th, which happens to be the same day that John Bell Edwards issued his emergency proclamation. March 11th was the peak, 331 people diagnosed on March the 11th, and then it started to drop. Daily diagnoses. Now, all of these people back here still have coronavirus, so it adds together. You're going to get your 33,000 folks, but what I'm showing you is the numbers are coming down. The daily new discoveries of folks with the disease. So keep that in mind. I think this is good. The numbers are in our favor. They're not getting worse day by day. It looks like it because the website, all they do is that big number. This is how many have it. So when you see that, you think, oh no, it's getting worse. It's, just go look at the CDC. It's not as bad as the media and some of the local folks would have you believe. So here's another chart. Now this is the flu. Influenza, and since flu season began, which according to this is September the 29th of 2019, there have been 231,654 diagnoses of flu. Of those, and I'll show you how I get those numbers in a minute. The deaths aren't as clear, they're not on here. The deaths were 5,140. So that's 2.2% instead of 1.1%. It's effectively double the death rate of coronavirus. So when people say coronavirus is much worse than the flu, okay, is it the death rate? Because apparently not. The flu is much worse. Is it the diagnosis rate? Well, 231,000 is a lot more than 33,000. Is it more contagious and we're doing a good job because we're self-quarantining? Maybe. But the point is, flu is pretty bad stuff. All right, moving on. The way I got these numbers was off of this pneumonia and influenza. And again, I show you this because you have to be able to recreate these numbers yourself, because someone will say, well, how do you know? And you have to go look it up. The chart data is where I got that information from. What happened is it's going to download this little CSV file, which you can open in Excel. Since September 29th, which is week number 40, I added them up, 5,140 deaths. That's where that number came from. Now, since January, we're going to compare this back with coronavirus. So since January, 4,323 is the number. I don't know if you see that there. I added, just since January up, coronavirus is 400. So this is 11 times more deaths from the flu nationwide than from coronavirus nationwide. So just keep in mind, you know, the numbers are here. The numbers are telling us things. And again, this is going to change and grow over the next few months as we have a chance to look back and see how accurate things were. But I'm not encouraging you to disobey the governor. I'm not encouraging you to go to work against orders. But what I am saying is, you know, you had a gut instinct that maybe this wasn't quite as bad as the media was letting on, and you might be right.